baby, we back. We missed a couple weeks here. We've done you wrong, but we're gonna explain why real quick. Listen, welcome back to Joga Talks. Let's go, baby. We missed a couple weeks, as I said. We've been untrue to what we said, and you know, I'm gonna say from bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I don't know what Diego's got to say because I mean he's a part of this lackage as well. What happened, Diego?
Yeah, man's got sick and they weren't feeling so good, you know. They need to get that tea in, you know, that honey, that lemon. Yeah, that was pretty much it. But then we lacked, and then this past week, I don't even know what happened, to be honest.
Well, I think I have a good idea.
Yeah.
And this is actually, Diego has no idea right now. This is coming in live. Breaking news. Breaking news. We'll throw in a little, oh.
What's
breaking
that?
news. This episode is about why we missed a couple weeks as well. I just want everyone to put their hands together and commemorate Diego for an amazing 6 years, I guess, at the Victoria Vikes University.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess that happened. Yep.
There's an argument here. The greatest Vike of all time.
Damn.
We're gonna get into it here in this episode. But I wanted to. Diego doesn't know about this. I wanted to dedicate this episode to you, Diego, because you in these last couple weeks, you had your senior night. Unfortunately, you weren't able to participate in it, obviously because of your injury, untimely. Yeah. You know, it's not the ideal way you wanted to end your Vikes career. I know, but yeah, I wanted to do this episode because this is a big moment for you. You know, it's this chapter's closing and the next one's opening. Obviously, we're always going to be kind of talking about what's going on with us. And yeah, I wanted to focus in on, you know, commemorating your time there and talking about some of the memories and talking about what's next, you know? A little recap.
Good surprise, you know? It's a good surprise. I like it. Yeah, honestly, yeah. It was a lot. I guess that happened. I completely forgot. It's been, I guess, a couple of weeks, but we haven't recorded, so didn't really talk about it. Yeah, man. I guess that happened, but I don't know if you want to do some questions. Like, I'll answer them. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun night.
Questions. It was a fun night. Yeah. So let's just start it off right now. Let's start it off right into the thick of it. I wasn't there, unfortunately. I wasn't able to attend because I'm in Mexico. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Put me in jail. Handcuff me and put me away. I'm in Mexico. I'm not in the cold Canadas. Once again, I'm at fault for that. But I missed it. I'm very sad I missed it. But it looked like an incredible moment. Walk us through what happened. Obviously, you know, they did a little ceremony for you and all the other seniors. I just saw some clips of you, you know, welling up. You got hella emotional as expected. You know, it was a big part of your life so far. You know what I mean? So walk us through that, just from start to beginning. You know what I mean? From your expectations going into the night, and then what happened. Just walk us through.
I knew it wasn't gonna be good. As in, like, I knew like I was gonna ball, and like it. Even if I was playing, like I knew I was prepared. Like, you know,
either way you were balling.
For sure, like 100%, just from everything that we've been through the 6 years. But I think whenever I got injured, I knew it was gonna be worse because I knew there was gonna be that extra like emotion to it of like, damn, like it's over, but like it's really over because of like I can't be with my boys on the court. So like expectations going in, I feel like I was excited, but I was also like a bit just wondered how I'd react at the moment because you can never prepare for things like that. Like there was no speech or anything. It was basically just like you showed up and they gave you a plaque and you got a picture with your coach and whatever. But I didn't really have lots of expectations. I kind of seen a lot of them before, so I kind of knew how it would work, sort of the format of it.
Right, you've seen some senior nights in your day.
Yeah, in my day, in my long tenure. But yeah, after 6 years, it was like in between the girls and guys games. So like it was before our game started, and they basically just brought all the seniors out together, and we were all there, us and the girls. They did the girls first and did ours second. and I ended up being the last guy that presented. Obviously got a frame with like a picture, an action photo, and then got pictures with both coaches, and then got pictures with my parents. And they just did like a little speech. The announcer did a little speech on it. Yeah, it was crazy because I blacked out like completely. Like when I was being
Really?
presented, it was just like I remember the girls won, and then Sam went up, and I like contained myself for that. And then as soon as Aaron went up, I was like already like tears already happening, just because
Damn.
like he's obviously close to me too. So like tears are happening then, and then whenever I went, it was just like I honestly don't remember a single word the guy said
You
on the
don't even
speech.
remember the intro, nothing, nada.
Nah, I remember him saying my name. I went up, and it was just like picture,
You
picture,
just
picture.
blacked. You just stood up and you were just.
Yeah, picture, 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 picture. I was just there, like get it done, and then after that, like obviously, I remember like the game. We had to warm up right after. Obviously I wasn't playing, but I remember I went to the locker room because I had to like wash my face and stuff. Like it was just like complete blackout, but it was cool. Obviously, like it was a good moment.
Crazy.
I'm glad I had like family there and stuff too to like watch it. So
Right.
that was actually
You had your dad out there. You had Carlos in
yeah.
attendance.
My
Shout out Carlos
pops was
Mafia.
here. Yeah, my aunt. Or sorry, not my aunt. My uncle and all my cousins, my three cousins from like Portland came over. And that was pretty cool too.
Important.
We got to hang out with them for the weekend, and yeah, it was nice. It
The
was
Mafia
kind of
gang, and then of course, you know what I mean. I think the most touching moment that that we saw some clips of was you and Wendy. You know, classic embracing each other on the
yeah,
court. That's I
yeah.
feel like there's been a couple of those. You know, she's always been
That
there,
has.
game in, game out, from the beginning,
I
from
know
the go.
all throughout, man. Like since high school, never missed a game. You know, always recording or doing stats or some, or just watching. I guess at this point, doesn't do much of that anymore. But she's always there. Yeah, front row. It was kind of cool. Yeah.
Crazy. And then obviously you guys ended that night off with a dub, another dub, undefeated still.
Oh yeah. Hopefully we can keep this going, man. 20-0, and I guess now we're semifinals on Friday when we're recording now, but this Friday. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. And then when we win this one, then we'll go to the final next week, and hopefully we keep this undefeated season going. And we have 5 games left in the season, and then it's done,
Crazy.
which is crazy to think about. It's less than a month away, or 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. And it'll be done after 6
It
years.
just flies
Man.
by, eh? Flies by.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it does. It does.
And now we got coaching Mafia, you
We
know,
do. We
on the
do.
sideline. That's a different role for you. We'll get into that. We're going to talk about that
Mhm.
as well. But I think that's a perfect that the way you ended it off there. You know, that 6 years flew by. That goes into
Mhm.
what I was gonna get into next. Is let's hear a little bit about because you can't remember this night that well, but your first moments as a Vike from getting signed, you know, recruited at Oak Bay when we were at Oak Bay together. What was that like? You know what I mean? What were your thoughts back then when you were like, okay, I'm gonna play for UVIC?
I actually remember a lot, to be honest. I guess I signed at Oak Bay. Like they came to the school and gave me the jersey.
I remember
I
that.
remember, yeah, I remember signing. I remember I was so like embarrassed. It was just like it was in front of everyone, and they were like, there was like cameras there and stuff, and I was like, oh no. Like in high school, I was like, I don't want all this. Like, come on. But
Yeah,
they wanted to
Fassi and
like,
all them. We're making a deal out of
yeah,
it.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
Craig and everyone was there, and I was like, oh no. Right in front. It was literally right in front of the staircase, like literally in front of the gym where everyone during lunchtime, like it
It's
was.
a classic location.
Man, they just asked for everyone to watch, I guess. But I remember that, and I remember signing it, and then I do remember my first game. I remember my first bucket. Like I can picture the video. I can picture
I was
everything.
gonna ask that. There we go.
Yeah,
What happened first bucket?
vividly remember it was someone shot the ball. I don't know if it was. No, I don't know if it was me. I don't think it was me. Someone shot the ball. We got an offensive rebound. I think Dom got an offensive rebound, if I'm not mistaken. And he kicks out, and I just step into a three, like wide open three. And I remember, like after that, like I felt like so like relieved. I was just like, oh, okay, now I can like get going. You know?
Did you remember? Was it back rim? Was it just straight net? Like what? What are we
I think it
talking
was
about here?
just straight. Like I'm pretty sure it was like straight. I'm not sure. Like all I remember was it was against Regina preseason game, our first preseason game at UVIC, and yeah, I remember someone shot it, Dom got it. I like stepped into a three, and I just remember like hearing like my mom, because they were like right there. My mom and like Tara, all the Fernwell people just like shaking their combos or whatever. And just I remember being like a cool like start, like it was just like
It gave
I
you some
checked in the
thrills,
game.
You're like,
Yeah,
damn,
exactly. Yeah.
that's so perfect too. Of course, it's Dom off the re, kick it out to
Yes,
you.
dude, for
I
sure.
love hearing
Don't
that. I
quote me
didn't
on
know
that, but
that actually.
I'm
You think
pretty
that's
sure
what
it was Dom.
happened? Nah,
I'm
that's what
pretty
we're gonna
sure.
say. That's what we're gonna say here.
We
Dom
can
grabbed
we
that
can
re.
listen, if we are
Can
good
we
at editing right now, we can
can we
throw the
look back at
video.
film?
We can throw back a film, and I'll put the video on the
We need some
video
film.
podcast.
We need someone to give us some
Yep.
film for this.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't, you know
put
what I
we'll
mean? I
put the
don't got
film, but
access to that UVIC archive.
I know it was, yeah. I mean, from what I remember, that's what happened, and it was just, yeah, it
Crazy.
was
Okay,
it
so
was a
that
good
was your
moment.
first bucket in preseason. So
Yeah,
this is gonna be another question that actually I'm gonna shout out All the Smoke podcast. You know what I mean? That honestly that inspired me a
yeah.
lot for this one. I know
Inspiration.
you've watched that as well, Matt Barnes and Stack Jack. But
Wait, before you say that, did you see? Oh, not all the smoke. Did you see the podcast B's going on a break? I just have to mention that
he
because I
is.
just
He's
saw
going.
that.
I just saw that too.
Okay, he's locking in
That's
for the
another one of
playoffs.
our
That was
guys.
a
He's
sidebar.
locking
That
in.
was a sidebar.
That's a side. I mean,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
needs to lock in because he's just
Yes.
not the player he is anymore. Love
Yeah.
love Paul George, but I appreciate what he
Yeah,
said too. He said he wants to
Yeah,
help
exactly.
his team. You know what I mean, and help the
Mhm.
guys finish out the season strong and make
Yeah,
themselves contenders. That's very respectable,
yeah.
and that
That
also
was
shows that he puts in. This takes time
yeah,
to do a podcast. It's not like it's
exactly.
just an hour of your
Right?
week.
Exactly. Like you gotta know the work in. You know what I mean?
There's prep involved to this stuff, guys. So yeah, on the All the Smoke podcast, I like they do this bit with all of their guests. They do your welcome to the NBA moment for
Oh
anyone
yeah,
they have
yeah.
on there. So
Mm.
basically, I'm gonna steal that from them because I love that
Okay.
so much. And that welcome to the NBA moment for them is whenever you got your ass busted by someone in the league.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what was your welcome to the U Sports moment? Like, who do you remember anyone just kind of cooking you up and you were like, damn,
Mm.
I know that's not really fresh in the memory, but
Yeah. I'm
if you
trying to
can
think.
think of one.
The only thing I can think of is like during practice. Like I remember because I was like obviously I was a point guard, and back then it was me and Scott. And Scott started. I came off the bench to start with, and I remember in practice we either were scrimmaging or doing a full court something. And I remember he picked me up full, and I remember I turned it over like 2 or 3 times straight. And that's when I was like, damn, like I probably need to work on my game a bit more. So I feel like that was like welcome
Was
to the
that
league
like one of the
moment.
first practices?
Yeah, like it was like early probably. Like I don't really remember, but it was definitely early. And I remember I was like, damn, like if I want to bring it up, I have to like, you know, work on it. You know me, like I'm competitive. I was pissed. I was like, damn, like
You got to lock in.
like can't be showing weakness like that. So then I had to lock in, and I had to, work on the handles and bring it up and stuff. But it was cool. I think that was the moment because I don't remember anyone in game really like
Yeah, we better not be finding some clip later of you getting broken
for
by
sure. But at
someone.
the same time, I never really guard, or I haven't really guarded
You
the
don't get
best
the toughest
players.
assignment. You're
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah,
Like I can tell
that's
you
on
guys that like
AT.
I can tell you guys that cooked us, like for sure, as in like they against us, they went crazy, but like it wasn't necessarily against me, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like I got dunked on or like this guy like stripped me during the game. Like it never happened like that, personally, not that I remember at least.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because I'm
Okay.
not really one to like contest at the rim or anything like that either. So it's like
Right. You're smart. You're
the
clinical with
chances
your
of me getting
decisions.
dunked on are very low.
Right. I
Yeah,
like
so
that. Okay. Fair enough.
yeah.
Fair enough.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to talk a little bit more about, because I know this, because I mean, I remember having all those chats with you when it was going on, but kind of when you broke into the team, and obviously you first started coming off the bench, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you're playing behind, the man that we had on the podcast. And what was
Did
that
we?
like, your relationship with him,
With Scott?
with Scott?
Yeah. It was solid. Like, I mean, to this day, we're still really, really good friends. And I mean, I think I'm off the bench my whole first year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I might have started like one game in my first year, maybe. So yeah, it was like a learning curve as like physicality and everything. Like know how to get your shot off and stuff. But I remember like even in my first year, like I remember at practices where like I went crazy too, but it was very like inconsistent. Not very inconsistent, but like there was days where I was cooking, there was days where I wasn't as great. But that's a classic first year though. Like you're always like, you know, like kind of, I don't know, being a bit more consistent than usual. And then you learn the ropes and you learn sort of, I don't know, how to approach each practice and stuff. But it was good. It was a good, I mean, it was a good first year. My second year, he was still there too, but we ended up starting together most of the year. So we played,
You guys got
it was
that
like a
duo
1-2
going.
combo, even though he brought it up more than I ever did. But yeah, man, it was good. It was, learned a lot. That's my guy. He's a hooper back then, all Canadian and everything. And yeah, he was the man.
Just a hint there too for, you know what I mean, because of what you said there. His episode is coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
I slipped up a little bit
yeah,
there,
yeah,
but
yeah. I thought
I'm giving away too much here.
I was thinking about all the episodes in my mind. I was like, did we get to that yet, or is that still like in the works? You know, like I know we got
It's in
the
the locker.
Dom, but
It's in the locker. It's in the locker.
yeah,
It's in the locker.
and
All former Vikes.
speaking of that, if he's listening too, we'll talk to him. We got to get Dom back because there was some mishap on the back end of things, and we didn't end up getting a video out of it. So we're not gonna really say what happened, because that's on us. You know, like
we had some production problems. You know,
yeah, we did.
We went through some different trial and error. And
yeah.
but we're gonna get all the Vikes on the pod,
Exactly,
all former
yeah.
Vikes, you know, all that
We
want
got
to
to
be on the
redo
pod.
that one because that one was a good one.
100%, that was a good one. So you had that duo going. You started getting minutes. You started getting traction.
Yeah.
Clearly. And what was the moment when you remember that you were like, I can do bits in this league? You know, like what year was that? What, you know what I mean? What moment was that for you? Was it a certain game? Was it a point in a season?
I think it was probably like my third year because that's when like Scott and them all left with like Scott, Matt, and I'm pretty sure there might be, I'm missing someone, but that class kind of left. And then it was basically like the seniors were Dom, Trent, Tucci and everyone, but there wasn't really like I knew I was the guard coming in to that season, like being like the point guard. But I didn't know it was gonna be like that. Like
that you're gonna
like
start cooking. That you were just gonna take
like,
over.
That third year
Didn't
was
know that.
It was a big jump for sure. I don't know what the numbers are, but like I know that it was a big jump. Like 'cause I remember it.
You were averaging probably like 15, north of 15.
Like in my second year.
Third year.
No. Probably. I think it was over 20.
That was when
already.
you were averaging over 20.
I'm pretty sure you can.
Oh, right.
Because
I guess because I'm thinking it's hard with the COVID years and everything. So that you're saying excluding that, obviously.
Yeah. Third year, like playing, like COVID was in between the second and
right, because you guys didn't even get to play any games that year, right?
No. I think the COVID was in between first and second. 2020.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think COVID was 2020
into 2021.
Yeah, and then the second year was the year after COVID, which was actually pretty good too. Like we went to nationals for the first time. That's when we went to Canada West for the first time. And I feel like there was not a lot of pressure, but like going into third year, we lost some key guys, and then everyone was like, we didn't know what it was going to be like, and that was actually one of the most fun years I've had playing basketball. I think, and especially at UVIC, like that was definitely the most fun I've had, like in general, like just as a full year, like in and out of basketball, like that was so fun. Like we did a lot of things outside of basketball together, and like we would like obviously play together, and like I think we had a good season too. So 19-1, I think that was the year before. 17-3, I think, something like that. 18-2. That was a pretty good year. Won Canada West, and that was the year we hosted actually playoffs because we came first, and that whole year was just a movie. Now that I think back of it, last regular season game against UBC, I remember Dom hit a game winner on senior night. By far the craziest game I've ever played.
Crazy.
And yeah, I came back from down 20 or whatever, but yeah, and then played and then hosted all the games, and I remember like Carsa was just packed. Like quarterfinals not so much, and then semifinals and finals I was like, oh my god, it gives me like chills. Like, you know, like it was like one of those where like the whole arena was like kind of like singing the national anthem and like you're ready to play and you're like it brings you that energy. Like it was wild, especially that in
The
the
environment
final,
was there.
the environment was
Crazy.
crazy. But yeah, that was, I didn't even know what the original question was. I was just
So
yapping there.
sorry. So you would say third season is when you really got
Yes,
into the flow, and you were like,
there we
I
go.
can,
Mhm.
anyone can catch this
For
any
sure.
moment. Doesn't matter what
Yeah,
team we're playing.
yeah, I
Doesn't
was like,
matter.
yeah, this is like, I know this is the time. Like, it's just, that was it right there. Like, it was the kind of turning point, I guess.
And
Yeah, it
third
was
year when you guys
crazy.
went to Natties,
We were
that was what. Yeah, you
ranked
guys
number
went in
one
ranked number one.
in Halifax. Yeah, that was the best nationals, like, as well. Like, the arena was insane, like 20 plus thousand people. It was like one of those soccer arenas in Halifax. I don't know what it's called, but we played UPI first, which is actually like, they're not from Halifax, obviously, but they're like an island right there. And they had so much more fans than we did, so everyone was cheering for them. Like you could hear them in the video. Like after I watched the game, and they were just chanting UPI, whatever, and we were just like from the island all across the country, and
Island to island, baby.
yeah, it was
Island
insane. And we
matchup.
island matchup, and yeah, it was cool. We ended up winning by one. In the quarterfinals, so we went to the semis and we played Centefx in the semis, who they were the hosts, and
That was a
that
crazy game.
was, yeah, that was like insane. Like probably like
Do you
10,000
do you
people
think
there.
that's top game? One of the top games you played? Like
Like
just
yeah,
for
probably up there. Like 10,000 people there, or just under that, and um, just atmosphere wise, it was definitely the craziest game. Like they were like jacked up to play, and like obviously they're at home and they want to win at home and whatnot. But it was just, yeah, it was wild. Playing them was cool though. I'd rather play them. You know, like that was a good
you want to play the best team.
environment.
I mean, they ended
Yeah,
up winning. Or no,
yeah.
sorry, they lost.
No,
They lost in
they lost in the
overtime.
final.
Sorry, yeah, that's the thing is
Yeah,
it feels like they won.
it
That's how
did. It
good they
did.
played. Because I remember I watched those few games, and
Yes.
that team was serious.
Yeah, they
That's
were.
probably the best team you guys have played, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably up there, to be
I know
honest.
you guys got kind of got spanked by Laval, unfortunately,
Yeah, we
the
did.
last Natties, but I
No,
don't
for
know.
sure.
That Saint FX team was they were playing
Yeah,
ball.
they were good. Yeah,
They were
it was,
playing
and
ball.
yeah, and then we ended up losing to the third place. But yeah, the third year was fun. The third year was definitely the turn of like, okay, like I'm probably one of the best players out there, so I gotta like,
Right. Well,
perform and everything.
that's when you won Player of the Year, correct?
No, I got snubbed, unfortunately.
You got
I was second.
snubbed.
Yeah.
Ay ay ay.
Yeah,
We
I
need
got
to talk
I
about
was
that. We need to talk about that.
we do. I don't want to get to controversy though, you know, but like we
Is
do. I mean,
that's the Carlton guy got it that year?
no, it was Thomas Kennedy. I mean, Hooper though, still like played for Team Canada and everything. Like
Hooper,
no
right.
disregard to him, but I think it was at the time that was probably the most frustrated I've been, because I was like, damn, like number one team in the country going into nationals, number one in points in the league, like record speaks for itself, whatever, and his team didn't even make nationals, so I was like, damn, like
Yeah, that's a bit
that's tough,
crazy.
you know. But like obviously he deserved it. He had a crazy season. He probably averaged high double, like was hooping all year, and you know he's a pro now and everything. Like no disrespect to him, but I was like, damn, like I felt like that year was like that year hurt. You know what I mean? Like I got it the year
Right.
after, but that year hurt for sure. Like
Right,
it was
because you
like,
were
damn.
balling that year. You were balling.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I mean, I felt like it. You know, it was.
You
and
think that
I
felt like your
was.
best year or the year after? Because
The
obviously year after, like you
Mhm.
said, you won Player of the Year.
Yeah, the year after was probably a bit
You
better.
guys came in ranked one again.
Yeah, we have the past 2 years, I guess. Yeah, and then the story happened. Yeah, it was tough loss. But yeah, we came in number one, and then I got Player of the Year and everything, and played in Quebec City, baby. So you've always been traveling a lot. Now that I put it into perspective, we've been traveling all over the place for nationals. So
Off-season tournaments too. Can't forget
yeah,
about Bahamas.
yeah,
Going crazy in
sick.
Bahamas.
That
So
was
talk
so
about that
sick.
a little bit. Talk about playing in the Bahamas against D1 teams.
Yeah, that was 2 summers ago, right? Yeah, 2 summers ago. I don't know when we went, but we went to Bahamas. We played Xavier and Penn State.
Big dogs.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, I think Xavier went to the Elite Eight the year before that, and I don't know if Penn State went to the tournament, but obviously D1 team, mid-major, if not high major, I don't know. And it was a crazy experience. Like we had no business even, winning any of those games. But I remember we pulled up to the gym, like the game time, and they were already all there. And I kid you not, they probably had like a coach per player. Like they had more coaches than they had players, and all of us were just like, "Yo, what's going on?" Because all we had was a head coach, assistant
It's a different
coach,
level, hey?
and then a
Different
trainer.
level.
And they traveled. All their parents were there, everyone, and we had like nobody. And we pulled up, and I remember Xavier was the first game, I think. Yeah, Xavier the first game. We pulled up, and game's about to start, and you look on both sidelines. There was like just outside the court, there was like this like chair, a bunch of chairs with like a long table on both sides. Both sides filled all NBA, like you could see they were wearing those like zip ups with the whatever team it was, and you saw like pretty much like I would say like half of the NBA teams had like a representative there, and obviously they were watching the Xavier guys. Like they had a couple guys that were like potential like picks or whatever, like like the usual. And it was crazy. Like I was like, damn, like that's like when you realize like next level like for them,
Right. And obviously that gave you some motivation. That gave you a little spark in that
sure.
game.
It's like competitive. I'm like, oh, you're not about to fry me in front of them, like just little things like that. It would end up being close. We ended up losing about 10 or 12, something like that. But it was like 4-point game with like 3 minutes left. And we're like, oh, this is like serious. And then we missed a couple shots, turned it over. And it was just stressed out.
Because I remember you telling me about that, but share a little bit in that game when you started feeling it, you started getting some rhythm, hitting some shots, and kind of the reaction of the other players and the other team. They're like, who is this Canadian team?
Yeah, I mean, they don't even know you. They probably don't even scout you, right? Like they probably don't even like watch any video or anything. But yeah, it was crazy. Like I remember came off a couple screens, hit a couple threes, and then went to the rack a couple times. And I think the first half I was already kind of going, but I don't know what I ended up with. I think it was like, I don't know, 26, 5 and 6 or something like that. Like that was a good game. Both games actually, I played pretty well. And that was like fresh off coming that Bandit season, so like I was like kind of in rhythm already, like I was playing.
Right, and you were used to playing against pros.
Exactly. So like I was used to it, and I was pissed we didn't win. Like I really wanted to be one of those teams, and I feel like we had that first game. It was just a little out of reach at the end, and it was kind of little too late. We were down 20 early, and then kind of had to like crawl back. But I mean, we made it a game, and we got invited back for this past summer, so we did something right. So, yeah, it was
and
crazy
if I'm not mistaken, you had some different assignments on you.
Yeah.
Some mid game switches. The team was scrambling a little bit.
Yeah, they were. I was kind of all over. I remember the coach was like yelling at them and stuff. Like, don't let him shoot, like letting me drive. And it was pretty sick. Like it was good. Then a couple of the coaches talked to me after and everything, like not to recruit anything, but just kind of appreciating the game and everything. It was good. I mean, felt nice. Like, and
you're very humble. You're very humble because you're cooking up D1. You're cooking up D1 players. Potential NBA players. Cameron Johnson's brother was receiving work. He was on the receiving end.
Penn State, yeah. Yeah, that was a good game too. They killed us though as a team. Like we were right for them. They switched everything. They played small, and it was I was impressed with them. They played real well. I think we lost by like 20. Just quick guards and smart. They were good, but I still had a good game. We just lost by quite a few, but it was still a good opportunity. Like no one expected us to win. Like I mean, we thought we were going to, like naive enough, but yeah. And then yeah, it was crazy. And then the trip itself was sick too. Like going to the Bahamas was nice. The weather is crazy hot. Yeah, little resort.
I guess I heard one of your teammates decided he wanted to stay a little bit longer, so he stayed behind, right?
Sure, that story is just so funny, man. Yeah, one of our teammates, unfortunately, I don't even know what it was. His visa was expired, and Vance had to stay in the Bahamas by himself for like 2 months longer. He came back late to school, didn't make it in time. It's like a month into school, he was already like in classes, like, but he couldn't attend, no practices and everything. It's a pretty funny story. And if you know him too, that guy's a jokester. That's the man.
Maybe we'll get him on one day.
Yeah,
That would be legendary. That would
he
be
could
an
tell a story
amazing one. He can
from his
tell a good story.
perspective.
Exactly. 2 months in the Bahamas ain't too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you had a lot of fun games away, a lot of trips, lots of traveling with this team. You went through a couple coaches as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have a new head coach now. You experienced him for,
A year.
into this season. Yeah. Just about a year. So also, I want you to talk about just a little bit of what the Vikes culture has meant to you. Like from the staff to the fans to friends. Obviously the facilities speak for themselves, and they, I mean, they put in the proper recruitment every year to get you guys the best players for a chance to win, right?
Yeah, I mean, you talk to the alumni now, and like our people that have been involved that played back in the day a little bit, and like before we came in, like everyone just says that like that kind of the 2020 year, like that's my second year. So we started a bit in the first year as well to kind of turn the table, but before that, like I remember coming to Vice games, and they were always sort of like 500, and they were always like 10-10 in the season. They would always lose in the play, and like it was always kind of disappointing because they had good teams, like they had good players, but they could never get it done. So you could tell there was something wrong, and I feel like, I don't know if it was, obviously you're not involved, so you never know, but maybe it was the culture outside of basketball, and they weren't gelling outside of the game. And I think coming in, I think the coaches did a great job at the time. The coaches at the time did a great job of like recruiting the right pieces of like not only good basketball players, but like good guys that like actually cared about like building a program and not just like playing a game and putting up 20 points a game. Like each guy, like no one really cared about that. It was more so like it came from like a place of like we want to win at any cost. So that was good. I think that was like being one of those guys that like was able to sort of change the program and change the narrative of like bringing basketball back to the city. Not that obviously it never left, but like kind of bringing back that winning culture and bringing back that community and everything. It's been pretty cool. I think seeing the progress from like all my years, like it's pretty much been like a straight like uphill sort of like, even like record wise, like we were 15-5 to start, and then obviously 19-1, and then I think we were 18-2, 17-3. So like obviously not straight up, but it was always like up there, and then 20-0 this season. So I think it's been going up and up every year. And then now you could tell that like we don't recruit guys just to recruit guys and to come put up numbers and then leave or go transfer. Is we bring guys that like we think are like good for the program, good for the community, good for basketball in Victoria, and like obviously great basketball players as well. Like we're not gonna bring someone that we don't think is gonna benefit our program in some way. Might not even be playing 30 minutes a game, but culture wise, like we've had players in the past that haven't played much, but might have been one of the most important guys on the team. Just like locker room vibes and stuff like that. Like, and those guys know like who they are and everything, but just like to this day, like some of the most important guys to the team are not even the guys that like play the most, right? Like obviously those guys are very important, but it kind of goes a long way. Like I feel like that's why we've been so successful. And the change of coach kind of like scared some people of being like, oh, like are we gonna keep this going, or is it gonna like just be like his own show? But it's kind of it's been going, and it's even gone better. Like it's even like gotten guys more confident and stuff. So it's been good. Like it's kind of nice to see that. Like after, I feel like it's not going to kick in until like a little bit after where you like reflect more on it. But like I've done a little bit of reflecting now, obviously, because of the injury and everything. And it's like, okay, like, damn, we really changed the whole narrative of
you were
Victoria
part
basketball.
of this revolution of Victoria basketball. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can pat yourself on the back that you were a big part of that. And I mean, from high school all the way to playing for UVIC, and I'm sure you're glad that you stayed in the city
For sure.
and played for the Vikes, because I remember everyone was like, "Where's he going?" I mean, I thought you might go to the U.S. somewhere else.
Yeah,
Try
I did
and
for a bit too.
Try and play for the biggest team you could, biggest school, shoot for the stars. Not saying that UVic isn't shooting for the stars, but you guys really rebuilt the culture, and I mean, it's one of the top schools
Yeah,
without a doubt. I mean, like you said, the record now, the last few years,
speak for itself.
You guys are just contenders every year.
Yeah, and it's like we've been consistent now. It's like we're going into nationals, and we're not winning it, and like everyone sort of shoots it in the foot for that, and it's totally fair. Like we're meant to win it. The pressure's on us to win it, but we're consistent, and we're there every year, and we're there number one every year. So we're doing something right, and it was crazy. I don't know who I was talking to someone, and they're like, I just watched your game back, like against Carleton in 2019, which was my first year. And they were like, it was against Carleton, like preseason at home, like you would expect it to be packed. And he was telling me, he's like, yeah, like it was just dead in there. Like it was like empty. And I was like,
right.
That's crazy to like think about. Like now it's always like the community's so like behind us, and like they're always at our games, that like it's rare to see one of our games be like empty. And like obviously kudos to us, but also like the community kind of back to us.
Well, I think it goes hand in hand. You guys started pooping, and you made it exciting. You created that excitement again.
Yeah, and then UVIC also does a great job, like at the games, like making it entertaining, and at halftime and in between quarters, like they do a really good job at that. So obviously credit to them, but I think it was a bit of all of it coming together, and like obviously success plays a big part of it. Like people don't like to come watch teams lose. Obviously,
I don't want to see no bums play.
Sure. So yeah, that was a big part of it. And it's kind of sick seeing student section packed and those UBC games filled and everything. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Diego Mafia.
That was good timing there.
University of Victoria. Yeah, I had to redeem myself after that last one. I had a little mishap. The click, the button is there, and we're
back in rhythm now.
One is under the other. We're back in rhythm. Yeah. We took a couple weeks off.
Let's do a couple weeks off. How about this? Since we're transitioning, whoa, I can't even speak anymore. Since we're transitioning, how about we hop into the blind rankings before?
Oh, you read my mind, baby.
Oh, buddy,
you
let's
read
go.
my mind. Blind rankings.
Our favorite part and your favorite part.
UVIC appreciation. Diego Mafia's career.
Just so you guys know, I didn't know this was happening. So mine has nothing to do with. It was just a random thing I thought of. So, yeah, kind of related to recent world themes. Mine.
It's hard to to know how to stay on theme when you don't know what the theme is. And I wouldn't tell Diego. I said, yo, just lock in, just watch, just watch,
just watch.
I said you're about to know. You're about to know what's gonna happen.
He did,
and now he knows. So should I start us off?
Sure.
I'll start us off.
Mine's not on theme,
so this is on theme to what we were talking about. Obviously, I knew what was going on here. So I'm prepared. Diego is truly gonna present me with a blind rankings.
Yeah, for sure.
Even crazier. But mine is your top moments as a UVIC Vike basketball player.
Okay.
And you just gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta lock into that memory, into that whatever it is. Where is your memory stored? In your cerebellum?
I don't even know.
Well, I don't know where the cerebral scientists are at. That's probably wrong. But we're just gonna get right into it anyways. We're not gonna talk about science here. So your top moments at UVIC, Diego. We're gonna start off hot and heavy with the UBC game. You already mentioned earlier. You mentioned a few of these moments already. We've already kind of chatted about them. The UBC game, you guys were down big.
Yeah.
Electric environment, right? And then Dom hits that game winner, dagger out of the air. Hey.
Yeah. It's going one. There's just no.
It's going one. It's going one.
I just can't think of any other moment that's gonna top that. Just the way it was.
That's crazy.
The storyline behind it, and what it meant, and the position and the ranking, everything. It was it was written. You couldn't write that better. If you came up to me before the game and you were like, give me best case scenario, what's gonna happen in this game, I couldn't even tell you that it was better. It was better than whatever you would have told me before the game by far. It was crazy.
And just the heat of it, UBC versus UVIC, it's a huge matchup.
It is.
Couldn't draw it up any better, like you said.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that happened to that game that it was just, how did this happen? You're in shock, but it was definitely 100% number one.
It's going number one. There you go. And that's crazy because the next one is is a big deal, and it's I mean, it happened pretty recently, right? It's the moment that you became the all-time
Oh,
Vike scoring leader. I know
yeah.
that's a tough one for me to put, second here because you already put it one, but
Mhm. Yeah. That is a cool moment. And it's definitely one I'm not gonna forget either. I didn't think of that, to be honest. Uh, I think, probably two, just because of like,
significance.
yeah, significance and thinking back of like all the players that played here in the past, especially like in the Ken Shields era, and like that could have very well been up there. I feel like it means a lot, you know? Like I feel like it hasn't
It's
kicked
a
in
big
quite
deal,
yet.
man.
So
Don't underplay that. That's your
yeah,
alma mater there. You know what I mean?
it is.
I mean, obviously you won player of the year. That's a huge accomplishment,
Mhm.
and that goes up on the wall.
Yeah,
But I mean, all-time
yeah,
scorer for a
that is pretty,
school, no one's taking that from you. I mean,
for sure.
not soon, we think.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, credit to them, you know? Yeah, I
Then
think
you'll be
number
the
two,
old dog on the court shaking their hands. So,
right?
and
I
we and
know.
we didn't talk about that actually. Let's just briefly talk about that. Just talk about you getting that bucket, and then kind of just what happened there, just
Mm.
quickly.
Yeah, it was at UFE actually. Shout out my boy Tesh. It happened, like the
Oh,
bucket
that's a
happened there,
Takeshi Kraut.
and then it was nice. Like it was nice. The other team's coach gave me the ball and everything, and we went to the locker room. I knew like guys were gonna go crazy, but like you know
Yeah,
me, like I don't. I just want to stay in my corner. You know, I was always in the
yeah,
corner
yeah.
locker. Stay in the corner. I walked in and sat down, and coach comes in, and it was just like this moment of silence. There was like a bunch of like cameras like trying to film, obviously, what he was about to say and everything. And he gave a great speech. And then he kind of like tossed the ball from one end of the locker room to the other. And as soon as that happened, I like grabbed it, and then all the boys had water in their hands, and they just started like pouring. And I was like, oh God, like this is crazy. About to have to clean up after
Soaked.
this. But it was just, it was just soaked, and it was a cool moment, yeah. And then I remember before that even happened, like after the game, my mom came up, and remember that probably one of my favorite pictures of all time of like basketball, or just in general too, of like me, like her coming up and like obviously just hugging me and whatever. And I'm with the jersey on and everything. It was pretty cool. Like the whole day was nice. And then I came back to UVic the next weekend, and we had a home game. And then they flew out the guy that I broke the record, I guess, and I knew him already pretty well. And then he presented me the ball at a home game, so that was also a cool moment.
Does
And
this
then
guy have a name?
he does, Jeff McKay. Sorry, Spencer McKay. Whoa, now I'm confused. I think it's Spencer. Yeah, Spencer McKay. Um, and he
We don't
flew
even
out.
know. We don't even know
Yeah,
what
I was like,
records we're breaking here. It's
no,
just
because he has a
another
brother,
day,
and I always confuse them for some reason. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Spencer, and he flew out, presented me the ball of the game, and I ended up framing the ball. I don't even know where it is. I think it's in the living room or something. Um, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Like there's like the record breaking, the number, and then when I did it and everything on the ball. It's pretty nice.
Was it from behind the arc? Can we share that?
No, it was actually a layup. It was
It was
pretty
a
like
layup. Hey,
I
get into the
know, I know.
rack.
It
Switch it up
was
a
a
little
decent
bit,
layup,
get in the lane.
Good move, get in the lane, wide open layup, just get an easy bucket in the board. But yeah, I know it should have been a three. I don't really count in the game. I think I needed like 12 or 13 during the game. But like that's too much. I can't be kind. I'm
You
trying
don't
to win
want
the
to do that
game.
much math. They're winning
Yeah,
the game.
exactly.
It doesn't matter.
So
Doesn't
yeah, it
matter.
happened. Yeah,
There you go.
it was
That
cool.
happened.
Number
Number
two, number
two,
two. Mm-hmm.
all-time scorer, Diego. Next up, we got Bahamas cookage. That's what I wrote down. We just talked about the Bahamas trip, but to me,
Oh,
that was elite. You know what I mean? Because you're playing against D1 schools, like we already
mhm.
talked about.
And there's a lot of
And
memories of the trip
man,
itself too.
mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm gonna put it four just to like. I don't know what's coming next, so I'm just
You're
gonna
gonna
put
put
it
it
four.
four.
But it might
Okay.
as well be three.
Yeah,
But
but
I'll
it's
put it
gonna go
four.
four.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the next one is your first bucket as a Vike. I know you said there was the preseason one. I don't know if for logistics we want to say preseason or your first regular season point, because I don't know. Does the preseason go
I
towards your
think
all-time scoring as well? I don't
I'm
know.
not sure. I don't think so. I'm not sure what my regular season first point was, to be honest. I do remember my first bucket ever though, like with the uniform. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one because you don't think about it, and then after you're done, you're like, damn, that was really how it started, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, but do I put a 3? Oh, I would put a 5.
That's
That's
gonna go
tough putting
5.
any of the. Yeah, I'll put a
That's tough.
5.
That's tough. Because the last one is your first natties, first time going to nationals. You know what I mean? That was, you
Okay,
said
well,
that was
obviously
your
3.
that was your
Second year.
second year. Second year.
Mm-hmm. It was in Alberta. Yeah, yeah. I'll put a
That
3.
has to go 3. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I would
There you go.
change. Yeah,
We change it.
I think I would put nationals 5 actually, and then bump the other 2 up. So I put Bahamas 3, my first bucket ever 4, and then uh, that first nationals 5.
And then you'll keep the UBC game 1 and the all
Yeah.
time scoring 2.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That shows how crazy that UBC game was.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I gotta watch it
Damn.
back now. Reminisce, you know?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it was nuts.
It was a nuts one. Well, we talked about your time at UVIC. Yeah, I feel like we covered a lot of it. You know what I mean, as much as we could, and in a short amount of time. Obviously,
Yeah, you did a good job
It's
there.
much more than that. Thank you. I'm just, you know what I mean. I'm just winging it here. You know, I thought we needed to do this episode, so we did it, and here we are. And now we're just going to talk a little bit about what you're going to do next. What's your rehab plan? What's going on? Just because this is a full revolving moment. You know what I mean? UVIC is ending for you, and what's happening next for Diego?
I got a lot in store. Some things that I probably can't say quite yet, but some things that I can disclose. Obviously, original plan was to go play and everything that goes down the drain. So I think I'm going to stick around Victoria, and the plan is to sort of do all my rehab here with the people I trust, and after I get the surgery done, just do everything here. So I'm going to stay here for most likely the next year, unless something crazy happens and something, I don't know, comes up and I end up doing whatever it is. But most likely spend the whole year here. Do a lot of coaching, actually. In the summer, I'm coaching an AU team, Vikes Nation, which is actually a full circle moment too. Because I played,
baby.
I played in the Vikes program, Vikes Nation program, and a while ago, and it's kind of nice to coach now. So that's a full circle moment that I just realized. Going to do that, coaching AU, which is going to be good. First time head coaching ever. So that's going to be an experience. And then also, in addition to that, I'll do some summer camps and hopefully some like private training with some athletes that I have in the past and some new ones. So going to do a bunch of that through Mafia Academy, actually, separate from Vikes Nation. But
go sign up, kids. If you're watching this, go and sign up.
I do. I can't just confirm that I had 2 summer camps already sort of confirmed, and I just got to announce them now. So got all the back end stuff done and going to do that. I have a spring break camp coming up, actually, as well with my boy Terrell, one of our coaches. Going to do that. And then, yeah, it's going to be mostly rehab, though, for the next year. And then the plan after that, I mean, from now, unless something changes, which stuff always changes, is to go play pro somewhere. I'm not sure where. Sign with an agent, explore some options, and then
España,
overseas.
Italia, Brazil. Yeah. We don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're going.
Could be wherever, you know. So that'll be 2026.
Your boy's gonna be popping out in the fits to the game. That's all I know.
Man, if
wherever we're at,
you
would
love that. Wherever I'm at, I'd get you tickets and you can just pull all that. That'd be amazing. That'd be crazy. But yeah, that's probably the plan for now. I don't know much else. A couple things very exciting things that I can't say yet because I'm not sure how confirmed yet and just the timing of it. But people will find out, and we'll talk about it in the future too. But yeah, lots of coaching. Lots of coaching.
Lots of coaching. Coach Mafia. This is a new chapter for you currently. Rehab, Coach Mafia, and then get back on the court smarter than ever because you know what I mean. You're drawing the Mex nose.
That's what I'm saying. Smarter, better, bigger, better, stronger.
There you go.
Faster.
He's getting bigger too. Hey, the gym.
Yeah, that's the
plan.
You know what I'm
saying? Put it on the backpack.
Upper body
you're going to be
program.
coaching a lot of these upper body, exactly. I mean, you could work on the ups though. You could always work on the ups.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. When I see you soon here, maybe we'll start doing that.
We got to hit a little gym.
Start doing that too, because I just need a few more inches, and then it's straight. It's yam
Straight
attack on anyone.
Yeah, you need that summer bod too, you know.
I don't know if you want that though, because then if we run some ones, I'm just gonna punch it. You know what I mean?
Stop.
Going
This
strong
guy's
side.
never, just so you guys know, this guy's never
I mean,
beat
if you
me,
force
ever.
me left, I don't know about that. This is guys talking some blasphemy. We're gonna have to run back. We're gonna have to run back the security cameras at Oakbay.
Security cameras at the
small gym. You know what I mean? For the real ones that know,
they know.
They know. So you're gonna be in your new coaching era, and that connects to what I was gonna ask you next. Is you got some new recruits coming in from the island, from Victoria, to play at UVIC. So I want you to talk a little bit about the next generation of UVIC stars that are coming in. Hopefully they flourish, and they're going to be playing in this environment and this new culture that you've revolutionized that we just talked about. What are your thoughts on those young bucks coming in?
It's a good class. I mean, it's probably one of the best classes coming out of the island, as in like number of like recruits and like talent. We got 3 of like, in my mind, 3 if not the best, one of the best like players in the province right now. So got my boy Torin from Oak Bay, and then Tyler and Justin from Spectrum, and watched a bunch of the games. They're legit. I mean, I think they all have a chance to play. Obviously, they got to prove themselves with sort of like our culture. Like, they won't play right away just because they were good in high school, you know, like they're going to have to earn their way in, but they're more than capable of doing that. I think it's one of the most exciting classes, to be honest. And I'm actually glad, because then it's kind of good timing. Like, I leave and then Bogue will leave next year. So then it's kind of nice to have like new guys coming in and young guys kind of carrying that island pride sort of along the way.
Passing the torch over.
Yeah, passing the torch over. I'm excited. It's gonna be sick. Like, I'm excited to watch them. Like, to be honest, like now I can watch them. I'll probably coach them a bit too. Like, help assistant coach a little bit next year, maybe. And yeah, hopefully I'll be around a bit to watch them grow, and they'll have a good season. I'm sure they will. Just watch them now and how they approach the game, how serious they are. So yeah, it's gonna be sick.
So it's exciting stuff. Hopefully this winning culture just continues, and these guys just keep balling. You know what I mean? You set the way for bucket getting, and it's just going to continue. They're going to keep making it rain. The shooters just start shooting more, and it's just Aquafina. The Aquafina is in the air. It's just contagious now.
For sure.
We're going to end off here with Diego's blind rankings for me. I don't know what he's got in store.
Man, I forgot.
It's okay. Okay. I got it. Don't worry.
Last thing that I completely forgot.
Lacking a little bit, but it's okay.
This was completely random. Thought of it on the spot. It's gonna be rappers. Not sure if we've done this one before. Rappers.
We're talking about hip hop.
Yes.
We're talking hippity hoppity trap. Music.
I try to look at like trip to trap, rap. You know what I'm talking about.
Rap. Let's get it going.
And in light of like the recent events of the Drake and the Kendricks and the Super Bowl, and it's on people's minds.
We don't want to talk about that. But we're gonna have to. And all I'm gonna say is, I've kind of moved away from hip hop a little bit more and more, as you know what I mean. My listening palette expands always. I'm always listening to new genres and new music. If anyone has anything cool, any cool recommendations for me, I'm always all ears. Literally, I'm all ears.
Yes, all ears.
But hip hop is always my first love, So
it was.
I don't know what we got in store here, but let's get it going.
This is like people that we definitely know. Like, it's not like old school or anything, so it's more.
Okay, this is more our generation. Okay,
kind of, around. Yeah.
I don't know who you're gonna come at me with. So
first one, Jay-Z.
Okay, well that's all time.
Right?
I don't know what you're gonna come at me with, and that's pause, man. I keep saying that. I can't help but put on the glasses. I got the glasses with me now, and I can't. You didn't say it, but I'm just gonna put the glasses on for myself because, damn, I don't know what's coming next. I mean, I don't know what you're going to say next. I don't know what you're going to say next. We're grown men. I don't know what's coming at me.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're going to come at me with.
Yeah.
I keep the glasses on.
When you say it? I'm fine with you saying that, but you can't. When you emphasize it, then you say it twice in a row. That's when it can.
Is it fine or is it not? It's not
No,
fine.
it's fine. It's completely fine for sure.
It's
But
fine.
it's just
It's
like
fine.
the way you said it there twice, and you just.
Am I gonna get fined or is it fine? Are you gonna get fined? Who's gonna get fined here? Someone's getting fined.
So fine in the
Sorry.
Joga Talks podcast.
We owe some money in the Joga Talks account into the cookie jar, into the piggy bank, the Joga Talks piggy bank. Maybe we need to get that going for a little prop as well. Gotta drop some dollars in there when you're saying something sus. Well, we haven't had the glasses in a while, so
yeah, we haven't.
Put the glasses back on. But we brought it back. It's just we're bringing back the old is new. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's a little fresh moment for everyone. So Jay-Z, Jay-Z is all time. I don't know what's coming next. So, man, I'm gonna have to put him. I'm gonna put him 2. He should go 1.
Okay.
I just don't know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay.
There could be a real heater in there. So I'm not gonna put myself in a stranglehold and put him 1.
That's fair.
Even though Jay-Z is all time. I can remember exactly when I went through a sickening Jay-Z phase,
Sickening.
and I was just listening to him every day.
Yep.
Probably listened to Black Album 100 times, Reasonable Doubt, all of that, Magna Carta, Watch the Throne.
Okay, 2.
There's so many. There's so many. Oh, there's so many records.
Okay. Second one. Eminem.
Eminem. I mean, he's a legend for sure. And the streaming and the numbers and all of that, all the accolades, he has those. But personally, he's not my favorite. And I've just grown away from him. And I can't lie that you know what I mean? When I was younger, like all of us, I think everyone had a moment where, you know what I mean?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, a little 8 Mile. I remember we had the 8 Mile movie on DVD. And we were watching. That's a classic movie. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's a great movie. It's one of the greatest rapper movies, definitely.
I agree.
Just as a production.
I love this one.
Value is high.
He's probably one of my favorite artists of all time.
There you go. So for me, I just I had that phase, but then I never really listened to him again. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't listen to his new stuff either. So
I'm gonna throw him 5.
No, okay.
All respect to Eminem, but I'll throw him 5.
Yeah, that's fair.
White Rabbit.
Third one, I know everyone enjoys a little bit of Drake in their life, and I had to throw him out there. You know, just
You had to throw Drake in there.
Canadian.
You had to throw Drake in there. Damn, my boy Drizzy. It's a tough time.
My boy Drizzy.
Some could say, even though it's it's just part of the game, and there's there's always going to be rap beefs, and I'm gonna give you my opinion on this, even though you didn't ask. That's not what you asked, but the Kendrick Drake beef, in my opinion, is something that is inevitable, and rap beefs need to happen for the industry, for viewership. It's healthy for the game, we might say. And they keep calling this rap game. Kendrick keeps saying this too, is that it's like a sport. Rap is like a sport. I think I might say that music is more. It's an art form, clearly, but it's a form of expression. So that's what takes it away from being a sport for me. Because then if you dissect everything like it's a competition, then you just can't do that with art. Art is different. Everyone perceives it differently. It doesn't have a fixed value. So I will say that no one's ever going to be a distinct winner. I mean, when you go head to head, you know what I mean? Like a rap battle, that's why rap is like a competition, they say. I guess there can be a winner. I'm not going to speak on that. I've listened to Kendrick lots in the past. I've definitely been a Kendrick fan, but Drizzy is day one. And it's not even about the rap for me. I'm not going to lie. It's not about the rap when it comes to Drake. It's more about the R&B and the sing rap.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are the hitters for me.
That's the Drizzy.
And that's my boy. That's the Drizzy Drake. That's a sick ska right there.
Yeah.
And we can't put no disrespect. He's been getting a lot of disrespect, and I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it all, not one bit. And that's why Drizzy is going number one, because he is our prime minister, and he always has been. He's been the prime minister of Canada. We've never had a proper leader, and this guy's been more of a leader for Canada as a culture, more than anyone. People can hate on stuff that he's done, but they've only hated on him for being, being goofy and maybe portraying an act that he's not sometimes, acting a little bit too tough in this rap game. But man, this guy is so
Yeah.
talented, and he's also pushed the Raptors to another level too. You know what I
Yep.
mean? People don't
Yep.
give him credit for that too.
Yeah.
Raptors
The
ambassador.
Henny hot takes. I love it. I love it.
He's
Number
going
one.
number one, baby. I'm sorry.
Love
He's
it.
he's the
Okay.
more goated artist. He's the GOAT. He's the
Mhm.
GOAT.
Oh, look
He's
at that.
the
You heard it
numbers
here
don't
first.
lie. The numbers don't lie.
Say it for the people in the back. Say it with your chest.
Drake is the GOAT. Okay? He's the GOAT. There's nothing. There's
You
no.
heard it here first.
If you want to debate MJ, Mike, Jordan, you want to debate
Yep.
the GOATs here,
Yep.
you want to debate Kendrick and Drake, I mean, look at the numbers.
Oh, damn.
We
He
talk
said
about numbers here.
Oh,
He had this
baby.
number
Okay.
one, and I think he cleaned up this year. Kendrick did. This was his year for sure, his best year, even though
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't my favorite music at all.
They not like us.
He had some bangers for sure. He
Yeah.
had some bangers. They were good records, but they weren't his best.
Okay,
in
since
my
we're on
opinion,
the
so-
topic, the next one on my list is Kendrick Lamar.
Nah, this guy
Because
gonna
you
give me
can't put
Kendrick
one
now.
you can't put one instead of the other, you know what I
This
mean?
guy's gonna give me Kendrick now.
So you have three
Okay,
or four
well-
left.
With all that being said, Drake is the GOAT. He's definitely, undisputedly the GOAT in my eyes as a musician. It's because he has so many hits. He has the numbers. He has put out so many albums. But Kendrick has also put out an incredible discography. And even though this recent
Oh, that was tough.
this recent, bout of music that he's released isn't my favorite, it is hits and it's bops, and he, you know what I mean? He switched up his style yet again. And my favorite Kendrick is old Kendrick, OG Kendrick,
yeah.
Section 80 into Good Kid, Mad City. That's what
Mad
everyone
yes.
fell in love with.
Yep.
That's what I know everyone fell in love with, that Kendrick. And we got Poetic Justice on there. And who was on that track? Drizzy. So that's all I'm gonna say. But Kendrick is gonna go number 3.
Nice,
And
okay.
actually, just for the big Kendrick fans out there, Damn is actually my most favorite album of Kendrick's, and it's the most complete to me. People would say otherwise. It's other albums where he was spitting the most bars, but in my opinion, the production and everything, I think Damn won a lot of awards too. And
Okay.
Damn is that's a very untouchable album. That's his untouchable album for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Just because the production is so crazy on there.
Yeah.
They got Ninth
Okay.
Wonder on there. They got, oh my God, that's a great album.
Okay. So
He's
last
going
one.
number 3. There's no hate. I still love Kendrick too, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry,
Last
Drake
one
is Drake is the GOAT. So
next level, right? Yeah.
he's next level.
Next one, last one of the pod. Number 4 will be Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne. That's not the last one, but that's
No, sorry.
because
He's
we still
number
got
4.
4 and 5 left.
No. That's it. This is the last one.
Oh, because I put Eminem 5. I forgot
Yes.
about. Oh, he's going number 4. Sorry, guys. I got
Yes.
carried away there in that discussion that we just had.
Okay, so re-rank
my
them
rant.
if you want to.
Lil Wayne 4. Honestly, I love that. I love that for me. I think that's
Drake
I
and
love that
then
for me.
Drake,
I'm eating
Jay-Z.
with that list. What's the lingo for these? What are the girls saying these days? I ate with that list. I ate. I'm gonna keep these glasses on because I'm being cooked. Because I'm being cooked right now. But
some would say I can't say it.
we're an hour into this pod. Some would say what, Diego?
There's a word that
Say it
starts with
with
an
your
S
chest.
that the girls say a lot, and I just absolutely do not like it, to say the least, to be nice about it. And yeah, it starts with an S and ends with ing, and it's just, yeah. If you know, you know.
I don't even know what Diego is getting at. Spit it out, boy.
You know what it is. You definitely know what it is.
You got to just say it, my boy. You just got to.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not,
know.
I don't like the word. I don't like the words. I'm not saying it.
Is it
It starts with an
strutting?
S.
Strutting? What is this? S-ing?
There's no way you haven't heard before.
I'm lost here.
Well, the people will know. The people know.
Everyone let me know. I don't know what S-ing is.
They can let you know in the comments. You know.
They can let me know what S-ing is. I don't know what we're doing here, but the list, I'm going to keep it as it is because that's a great list.
Yeah,
Drake,
I like it.
number 1, all-time GOAT.
Jay-Z.
He was Jay-Z, one of Jay-Z's prodigies. All the lights. You know
For All
that
the
track.
Lights.
That's an amazing
Yeah.
track. Not
Mhm.
that track, but there's another one. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's
Yep.
something lights in the track. It's on one of Drake's first projects.
Yeah.
But
Then
yeah,
Jay-Z
and we
number
also
2.
did Jay-Z number 2, Kendrick, got to give your
Then
applause
Lil
to
Wayne
Kendrick.
and Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still lots of love for him. And then Lil Wayne, man, that boy from New Orleans, it's tough. And then, we got
Eminem
Eminem in the
5,
5
yep.
spot. I'm sorry for you, but Also, we got to just end it off with because we're talking about the GOAT Drizzy. That new album it's fire. There's a lot of hate out there as well on that album.
There is a lot of hate.
And I was just talking about it with my boy Eli. Shout out to Eli. I've been on the pod a few times now. He's gonna come back again very soon. But we were talking about how fire that album is. It's got a lot.
I
of
haven't
heaters
listened
on
to
it.
the whole
It's got
thing,
a lot of
but-
slow songs, which I love. Party Next Door, also one of my goats. Canadian goat. Just
Is it
Canada represent in the house.
Nokia is one of the songs, or
Nokia is one of those.
yeah,
That's
okay,
like the one that's again posted
It's
all
the
over the
hit.
gram.
Yeah.
That's the hit. That's the hit. But there's a lot. I mean, man,
I need to listen to it. Yeah.
There's a lot of bangers on that. Brian Steele is a crazy banger. Mothballs.
Okay.
I don't know what else you want to
I
talk
need to listen
about.
to it. Yeah.
There's
I
so
haven't
many
heard it.
bangers on that. Go and listen to that album. It's another hit record for Drizzy.
Okay, I love it.
I love this episode, man. I'm glad that we got to chop it up about your time at UVIC and just kind of, reconcile, come to peace with it coming to an end. Would you like to send some last messages? Reminiscing.
Yeah, no, it's good to reminisce. My time has been great. Don't regret anything along the way. People you met, games, I don't know, trips, everything like that.
Shots made, shots missed.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of shots missed. They don't talk about those, but
They don't talk about those. They ain't gonna talk about those.
But yeah,
It
it was
happened.
good to reminisce. Good to have a chat and good to be on the pod again, man. Joga
Good to
talks.
be
Like,
back
it's been a
on
while.
Joga.
It's been a while.
2
and,
weeks is a while. It's a while.
I
Feels
know
like
they
a
missed
long
us.
while.
Because I know some people already told me, they're like, you guys missed last Friday, so what's going on? I'm like,
They caught
now
us
we gotta
slacking.
put it out for the people. Pause. But like, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, you gotta
I don't have the glasses, any glasses near me, but like, yeah.
put it out
Anyways.
for the people.
Anyways, you guys understand what I mean. The pod is back and we're better than ever. We're going to be posting the clips every day. We're going to be back on track, okay? We got a little sick. Not we. I got a little sick.
I actually got sick on my the
You did
weekend
too?
of my birthday. I went a little too
See?
crazy. And
Yeah,
it's-
so we don't talk about going crazy, you know what I mean? It's just, got a little sick. Now we're back on track. We're back on the pod. We got the glasses. I don't have
got
mine,
the
but I'll bring it
glasses.
for
He's
the
gonna
next
get 'em out.
episode for you
He's gonna
guys.
get him out because he's being cooked too.
And it's going to be
And-
better than ever. So
It's gonna be better
good,
than ever.
good to be back. Good to start over again and get this done. That was a good ep. I love it.
Thanks for tuning in, baby. We back
Mhm.
every week. Hold us to it. And the clips are going to be out on Instagram, TikTok. You know what it is. You can go tune in on
Mhm.
Spotify or YouTube. Joga Talks, baby. Let's go. We out.
Yes, sir.
The greatest scorer in the UVIC history. Diego Mafia. UVIC tribute episode. We out.